What's going on, my fellow collectors? Jim here with another figure review. Let's take a look at the Mafex Suicide Squad Joker, the Suits version. This is a pretty cool figure. I don't have any Jared Leto Suicide Squad Jokers in the collection, so I went ahead and picked him up because I saw him on Amazon for like 30 something bucks. So, you know, you just can't beat the price. You're basically getting two figures in one. But the packaging is what we've seen before with Mafex. Nice big open window, you see everything. Do you have an image of the figure down here? You got the Joker, Mafex, this is number 39. Medicom Toys, top you got Suicide. That on the bottom you got that. The one side you got a kind of image. It also says Suicide Squad. And then of course on the other side you have the full body shot. On the back, pretty cool. We got a bunch of different pictures of the figure posed up along with the accessories that it comes with. But yeah, that is the packaging. Let's go ahead and pop this out and take a closer look at the Joker. Okay, here he is out of the packaging along with all the accessories we do get with this Joker, which is a decent amount, and we technically almost get a second figure with this guy, almost. But I'm taking a look at the accessories that we do get with this Joker. We do get a bunch of different hands. You do have two fists, and I gotta say that like all the hands are done actually really nicely for Mafex. You know, each individual hand has really nice painted detail, especially on his left hand. It has that smile. We get a really nice painted smile on all of the hands. But you do have the two fist hands. You do have two kind of like gripping hands, you know, one kind of pointing finger hand, or you could use this, you know, to put it on his cane. The cane itself looks really well. Get nice little sculpted detail up here at the top of the cane. Then of course we get this nice purple color, and you do have the bottom. He does come with like two kind of like open hands. And again, like I said, every single, you know, left hand has a really nicely painted smile on there. And then of course you get the rings and the tattoos on the fingers. We get another kind of like open hand. And then we do have the flat kind of wide open hand that you can kind of put up on his face. So that's really cool. And then we do have like another trigger finger hand. He does come with this really nice little pistol, which has really nice sculpted detail on it. Nice purple color, kind of like a, you know, whitish pearlish here on the handle. But that looks really cool. And then we do have another trigger finger hand. And then we do get his, you know, gold machine gun, which, I mean, the sculpt is there. It's pretty plain. I mean, it's painted nice gold, a little bit of white, a little bit of silver. Decent sculpt, but it's nothing like too kind of crazy looking. The clip doesn't come out or anything like that. But yeah, a bunch of different hands. And then of course we get this whole extra torso and head, which I actually prefer this head better than the head that comes on the figure. Oops, sorry about that. But this head sculpt's really nice. I gotta say, this one right here, I think is my favorite that comes with this, you know, figure. It definitely captures the Jared Leto Joker a little bit better for me anyway. But nice sculpting. I like the way the hair looks. It's decent, you know. We get a little bit of black wash throughout the hair. I like the eyes. I do like the little tattoos that they kind of put all over him, and then even on his neck we have some tattoos. The straitjacket itself has a nice sculpt to it. Kind of has like a dirty, you know, look to it. And then we get really nice kind of sculpted straps on the back and silver around the buckles. So yeah, I mean, overall a pretty cool little piece. Now it can technically work with this figure, but of course you kind of have these dress pants. So this one is more for the one of the other Mafex Joker figures where you can have his, you know, sweatpants, but you can interchange the head sculpt between either of the figures. I'm taking a closer look at the figure itself. Now this head sculpt, I gotta say, I'm not too fond of. I really don't like it. I think it just looks kind of dumb and goofy. But I mean, it's still done for the most part well, you know, well enough. Again, we get decent kind of, you know, print on the tattoos around his face, the hair. Same thing, we get a little bit of wash in it. But I don't know, his expression just looks too like dumb to me, you know, personally. And then we do have his tattoo again on the neck. And of course, this being the suit version, we get this kind of cool, you know, white pearlish jacket that he's got. That has nice sculpting all through the sleeves. Get some black buttons painted down here. Of course, we have the black on the front, and you know, of course, the arms are all sculpted in this kind of pearlish. I mean, they have this like softer material for the jacket. And then we have a nice sculpting on his white undershirt. And then of course we have you know, sculpted rubbery pieces for his bow tie. So I mean, overall, I gotta say, I like the look of it. It's not too bad. And then of course for his pants, they're done pretty plain, just in a black, but there's some sculpted wrinkles in there. Get a nice white line that goes down the side. And then one thing that kind of I didn't realize this, but his shoes were like really nicely detailed on this thing. I mean, we get nice kind of sculpting purple for the shoelaces, and we have all this kind of cool deco going on all around it in this gold paint. So that's really cool. The shoes are really neat on this guy. And of course, looking at the back of the figure again, we get cool sculpt. The back of the jacket has nice, you know, sculpted wrinkles and everything in it. So yeah, overall not too bad. Now as far as articulation, it's not too bad. Of course, we get, you know, movement at the head and the neck. So you get full swivel. You get really nice down. Pretty decent up, not too bad. Of course, you get really nice side to side. The arms, you know, they hinge up and down, but you can get them out pretty good. The ball hinge on that is good. And with the jacket being softer too, I mean, you could probably even force it even more up. And then of course you can hinge that up. You can even kind of shift it forward and back a little bit because there is no bicep swivel with this guy, but it will rotate around that ball joint. You get double jointed elbows, brings up about that much. Of course, all the hands swivel and hinge. You can set that to go up and down, left and right. He does have a cut here in the torso, and then of course at the waist. So you're going to get the same movement out of both of those joints. You're going to get swivel, you're going to get forward, you're going to get back, a little bit of side, and you're going to get the same movement at the waist. So with both of the joints, you can get them over about that much. Get them really far back. You go too far, you're going to pop that joint out of there. You get a nice side to side, and of course that will swivel. So I mean, you get pretty decent range with between both of those joints. Legs, you do have the drop down, so you can drop them down, kick forward about that much, kick out about that much, kick back, not too much. You do have swivel around that, but it's not much at all. You just have the single hinge, knee, brings it up about that much. And then for the feet, it's a little bit limited because of the sculpt of the pants. You don't really get much forward and back movement on the hinge, but you do get a decent little pivot out of it. And of course you get a little bit of rotation, and then you do have a toe hinge. So I mean, overall not bad for a Joker figure. Even though I think I would have preferred the the purple trench coat figure. But with this guy only being about 30 bucks, you know, for the $30 price point, I think it works just fine. Now you can pop off the alternative head that comes with this figure and pop it on here. And I think this just looks much better head sculpt, I think. And I think if you have the Joker that has the Arkham kind of sweatpants, you're going to want to pick this guy up because, you know, getting this extra torso here is going to look good with that figure as well. I mean, you could technically pop this off of the ball joint and put this piece on. I mean, it does kind of pop in there and it will stay on there, but it's just going to look kind of funny with these pants. And actually, it's not even popping in there for me now. I could have sworn earlier I popped that in there. There it is. So, I mean, you can technically make it work for this figure, but of course with the black pants, you know, with the black dress pants, it just looks a little bit silly. But you could technically still, you know, put this torso on these legs, and vice versa with all of these figures, and it's going to take your ball joint out of there. But yeah, let's get some comparison. Okay, so this Joker out of the packaging stands a little over 6 inches tall, and as far as some size comparison, here he is with the bank robber Mafex Joker, which is a decent figure, but mine was just a floppy mess. But that's what he looks like next to the Mafex figure, so, you know, decent comparison there, even though it's two different Jokers. Here he is with the SH Figure Arts Suicide Squad Harley Quinn. So I think these two have a good scale together, the Mafex and the SH Figure Arts. And then here he is next to the NECA Heath Ledger Joker. So you can see definitely a big scale there. But here he is next to the SH Figure Arts Batman. And I think, again, the scaling between these two are pretty good. So even with your SH Figure Arts figures, this Mafex Joker is going to fit in good on your Suicide Squad shelf or up within your Joker Batman collection. But yeah, guys, that was a look at the figure. Pretty decent. Again, I'm going to use this head sculpt that came with this body just because I don't know if I'm ever going to get the bottom proportion. And I will say that ever since I've tried putting this body on this legs, the couple times that I tried doing it, since then, the top part of my ball joint has gotten really loose, so it's really hard to get it to pop back up into the top of the torso. So maybe I would suggest not trying to cram or swap this portion of the body on this particular figure too much, because you might run into those same issues I did where it's going to mess that ball joint up. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, for, you know, a $30 price point on Amazon, this is a cool figure to pick up if you see it for cheap. I mean, I don't know if he'd be worth the money for, you know, the $80 price point that they usually are, or the $60, $70, unless you want to get this torso. I mean, he's definitely one to pick up if you're looking for the torso, because this figure right here is decent. It's decent enough. I mean, you get nice articulation, you get the suit, you have the accessories. He's going to be a good Joker to put up on your Suicide Squad shelf. But that was the review, guys. Look at the Mafex Suicide Squad Joker, the suits version figures. That's the review. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next figure review.